Welcome back to the Box2box Podcast.
This is episode 60 and PSG are crowned champions of Europe. Let's talk about it.
And after this historic loss, where do Inter go from here?
And is Inzagi finally out the door?
All that and more on the Box2box Podcast.
Let's go.
You ain't going home,
Your
bro.
Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Ours are on the pitch. Mbangula starts. Our next Mbangula, bro.
She's Egyptian. She's Egyptian. Game tomorrow, would you rather Saliba or Mbappe?
Right, Saliba right now.
No, you wouldn't.
Saliba right now.
You're sacrificing
That face when you lie. That's
Saliba right now.
Boys, historic day.
I mean, now you guys, if you guys are watching on
I'm wondering.
YouTube, yeah, we are not in our regular event space. I mean, you might hear some crackling in the back because we had a massive event for the Champions League final.
Huge success.
Yes, we had we were expecting what, like 60 people to come, 70 people. It ended up being like 100 and I think 30, 140, so double what you expected. And the live stream killed it also.
6,000 viewers at
Yes.
one point, and the vibes were immaculate. We had PSG ultras right behind us.
Yeah, we had a lot of Inter fans also. So
A couple of Juventus
They were
fans
quiet.
They were
chirping
very
you.
quiet.
The,
All I heard
the
was
loud
rage bait.
Juve fans and the quiet Inter fans.
All I heard was rage bait behind me. That's crazy.
No Man
Yeah.
United fans, though.
No. But I mean, we had our limelight last week.
Limelight.
A lot of Spurs fans.
More Spurs fans than United fans.
Crazy to hear.
But yeah, it was honestly, it's like, aside from football, before we get into this
Yeah.
Champions League final, I mean, the event was awesome.
Yeah.
It took us a while to plan it, but honestly, it came out.
Amazing. And there was even people like from the Patreon too that came from Pittsburgh. There was one person, Benji.
Shout out Ben.
Shout out
Shout out Ben,
Benji,
bro.
the GOAT.
And a bunch of
Absolute
other
goat.
fans. It was sick to meet you guys.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So we just want to thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. Anyone who
Yeah,
came,
it's
anyone who tuned into the live stream. And you guys are probably wondering why is this camera setup so enhanced compared
right
to
now.
Yeah, we decided why not use the camera setup that we used
had-
for the live stream. So
Yeah.
This might be the crispest podcast.
yeah,
but
you will
might-
never get a crispier podcast.
Like if there's one podcast to watch visually, it's probably this one.
yeah.
audio listeners in traffic right
Audio
now.
listeners, make your way to YouTube.
Yeah.
Definitely. But
Yeah.
So
I'm buying on cap. We're gassed right
Kind
now.
of cool.
Yeah.
It was a long day, couple days,
Yeah.
long couple days,
Yeah.
just getting all the final pieces together. And honestly, the big pieces, they were kind of easy to take care of. It's all the small stuff. It's like you're forgetting super small little details, and it occupies your mind. But I mean,
But
everyone at the end of it basically said like this was one of the best events. Like it was fantastic. They had a great time. So I'm just happy the viewing experience for them was great, and even the viewing experience for the live viewers, live watchers was great as well.
Yeah, because at the end, everyone said they had fun.
Yeah, they had a great time.
That's all we really could wish for. And I mean, we were skating around the fact that Inter lost 5-0 in the final.
I'm trying my best to avoid it.
Most successful hate watch, possibly my history of hate watch.
Hey, watch on a maxi screen.
If I was a hater, I would relish in this. I would relish in this.
102, maybe a 200-inch screen.
Beautiful.
Hate watch.
Beautiful.
This is when the rats come out, Mili. Like that. This is where they crawl out.
Oh,
because-
Varvar, what happened to your shirt? It gained pixelation.
Yeah, I mean,
Season's over.
it was such a disgrace to the kit that I had to wear this
The actual
shitty ass
kit.
kit.
The actual
to
real
replace.
one.
No. This is a terrible
It's
kit.
funny because Varvar actually perfectly matched.
Yeah.
You didn't know that we had this kit.
Yes, I
right?
didn't know that we had this
But
kit.
you made this
no
exact
way.
kit with
Yeah.
Altara on the back.
I thought you actually drew it because of that.
No, I didn't know. Millie didn't let me touch the Inter kits because I was bad luck. Little did he know that
Little did he know.
didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
So I made my own. I said, Millie, go fuck yourself.
And little did he know you would be wearing a wig that'd be thrown out of
launched
the
across. That got launched
event.
across in the live stream.
I
Yeah.
don't care, man. So it's
Take
gonna
off
be
your
a bit-
shirt.
Gonna rip that shirt off.
But Millie, I mean,
Millie was so close to ripping that
He's
shirt
actually
off.
close to.
But Millie, what are initial thoughts on that final?
Initial thoughts.
Give us a quick rundown right now.
Shell shock. That was like I think at one point in the live stream I didn't speak for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
I was
like-
like I couldn't speak. I didn't know what to say. I was watching nothing that warranted a discussion.
It's like that. What's that meme where the guy's watching the movie and it's like and people listening are gonna know, and he's just watching as like there's like a death scene going on. It's from a TV show.
Oh, I
forget.
know. It's the It's the blonde guy.
Yes.
Fuck, what
Okay,
show is that?
Ferms knows, whatever. But
Yeah.
audio listeners are gonna know also.
That's from The Boys.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
The boys.
Okay, now I know
It's
what
like
you're
you're
talking
you're just watching like
Yeah.
what is happening right now.
I actually, at one point, I'm like this. I couldn't fathom what was just happening in front of my face.
Was that the worst Inter performance you've ever watched?
That
in
was
life?
the worst Inter performance I think I've
Worst
ever watched.
Champions League final performance.
Especially on the big
Yeah,
stage.
worst. I can't believe that's going to be dunked on my head for the
That's
rest
the
of
worst.
eternity.
Historically.
Forget Champions League final I've ever watched. That's the worst I've ever seen.
I really don't understand what the players thought coming into this game. I really don't understand. This was the worst performance I've seen. No running, no discipline. It was absolute, like, it was just
What do you think?
disgraceful.
What do you think contributed to this?
I think it was a build-up, personally.
I
You think
don't
it was
know.
a
There was a
mentality
lot of-
thing? Like, what happened?
I don't know. There was a lot of bad, like,
Juju.
bad juju, bad aura around the club leading into it. I would say, like,
Really?
with the Inzagi news and stuff. Is it true? Is it not?
Yeah, that
true?
didn't help.
So that didn't help. But I don't know. It felt like the players were confident going into the game. I don't understand. The first 10 minutes they played like children. Couldn't make a pass. Couldn't
First
make
10
a good
minutes.
touch.
The whole 90 minutes.
Well, no, I would say the first 20 minutes were startling. I was like, oh my God, no one's speaking to each other. No one's committing to player. Like, it was just a mess.
I forget if one of us said it, but basically we said that if PSG score first, Inter's just gonna like widen up way too much, and the counters for PSG would have killed them. And that's exactly what happened.
I couldn't believe how much space. We were
Too
leaving
much space.
Cavara,
This-
Dembele, Doué.
It's in games like this, and now this was the main takeaway for me. The lack of athleticism in
Yeah, caught
Inter's
up.
team
Caught up.
really made a difference today, because you could see Inter's counterattacks were very slow. You could tell the players, when they're carrying the ball, they're not fast players. PSG, they get from point A to point B in 2 seconds, and then next thing you know it, the ball's in the back of the net. That was the main difference for me.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
But this summer, I think Marotta already knew that. That's why he's already signing the Enrique. He's targeting players that are more like physically
Athletic.
there.
But what's weird for me is that in January, you know you're going far in Champions League, reinforce his team. Like Zalewski was the subs that were
Low-key, Zalewski
bringing on-
played the best of any Inter player.
He played all right. He was actually not bad. But
it's not
you're
wrong.
telling me, you look at PSG bringing on Barcola and you're bringing on Zalewski. Like, unfortunately, Bisek got hurt. So Darmian, like, come on. It's
It's just one thing
They
2025.
after
thought they had
another.
enough. They thought they had enough, like,
I
because
don't-
it was working, bro. You beat Barcelona, you beat
Bayern.
Bayern. Like, I don't see. I think that might have led to your demise in a way. That you guys had proven so much in this Champions League campaign. The league phase, you guys went undefeated. You got defeated by Bayer Leverkusen, which is the only game you conceded a goal. So, I mean, the Inter players were coming into this game saying, "We know what we are. We know how good we are. Let's just play our game and win." And Luis Enrique had other plans.
But forget play their game. They couldn't even play their game. Luis Enrique constructed this team to perfection, in my opinion.
We're going to get to PSG in a second because
but
they
I think,
deserve their flowers.
Yeah, 100%. But Inter had no answer. They played the same way in the first half as they did the second half. They tried to get some good movements, couldn't get on the end of balls. There was maybe one or two opportunities, the Cherbi header, the Thuram header, that could have maybe turned the game at 2-1. But at 5-0, like, I really think even if we scored, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't
this
have made a
felt like a
difference.
build-up even during the season, because it felt like your whole season crumbled in the last 4 weeks.
It really felt
Deflating.
like I just.
I mean, I know the vibes of the Inter
Yeah.
fans. Like, I know I'm tapped in, you know?
Yeah,
So
as
I
an
can
Inter
tell
fan.
on Inter Twitter. Millie doesn't read Inter Twitter that much. I'm always on Inter Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm able to tell the vibes of the fan base, and I thought it was very deflating.
I agree.
That's why
Tre.
Interisto's going into the final.
But you know what though? What I will agree with you guys, like this is obviously right after the game, but brother, 5-0, like it is a failure.
oh, no
is a
shit.
Of a season? Are
I
we
didn't
getting
know
a
that had
compliment
to
Of
of
the
Yeah.
season, yeah.
I
I would
didn't-
say
thank
that.
I didn't even know that had to be like acknowledged. Like,
Wait,
are we-
I had to acknowledge it in front of
Wait,
camera.
are we getting? Can we get a full sentence?
This season has been a failure.
For who?
For Inter.
okay, thank you, Clip.
That's fine. But after 5-0, that's completely justified. Like there's no defending that it's a disappointment.
Next year, Millie can't. Like, you would think, oh, we made CL final. Okay, we're in the clear for next year. I can
No,
bring-
we're not.
Worst case, you know, like we lose. But I could always say next year when we were defending my club, where was Milan in CL last year or something like that? You can't even say we made a CL final because it was the worst defeat ever.
Okay, well I can say whatever I want.
No,
It's just more-
statistically,
No,
too.
you
Bro,
can still say you made a CL final. You
made a
gotta,
CL final, lost 5-0.
but you gotta. I know it helps us, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying for him, you can still say you made a CL final because we didn't make a CL. We didn't beat Barca. We didn't beat Bayern.
Same couch, though.
I think I would have rather been Barca.
Easy
in
to
this
say.
situation.
Easy to
than
say.
Inter.
Why?
Like, yes, Inter got to play in the CL final, but Barca went out with pride at least. Like Inter,
I see what you're saying,
Like,
yeah.
like Inter's in the cuck chair. Like they had to watch them get destroyed for like an all-out,
Like literally a final two. We had 120 people watching that. Like just to put it in perspective.
You had a
That
Juve
sucked.
fan, a guy with no fucking manager right now. Sorry, Igor Tudor as manager. Got rejected by 2 managers this week. The only 2 good ones they were linked to. And this guy's yelling out, Marotta League, and he's rage baiting you live.
I know.
Unreal.
And you just had to sit there and take it from a Juve
But
fan.
that's just what it is. That's the game we signed up for, gentlemen.
Well, you didn't. First of all, you didn't sit there and take it. You turned around and started ripping.
Okay,
him
at a
off.
certain point, yes. Oh my God, it didn't
Shut
stop.
up!
You need to stop. You need to shut up. How about
You
that?
need to leave.
No, it was just at a certain point, yeah, I kind of boiled over. I was just like, I was so done with this team.
And then also you see like Bisek potentially. It looked when it was really the whole crowd
bad.
went. Ooh. So that one doesn't look good, and that's a player that I think maybe potentially Marotta was looking to sell this summer to put funds into the team. Now, if you're looking at a multiple month injury, he's definitely out for Club World Cup. I think. Probably.
It really depends. I don't
It's
know.
probably a hyperextension, but if that's best case scenario hyperextension. If it's like a ACL or
Walk
something like
off is
that.
good.
Well, ACL you can walk
ACL
off, bro.
kinda
Kobe
walk
made
off.
a free throw on a torn Achilles. You don't know, like you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, generally you can't walk on an ACL, on a torn ACL, but we'll see. I mean,
It was just,
that'll
it
be
was
a
so
tomorrow
deflating.
repair.
He just came on.
Yeah. And
Like,
he put on-
I think that was the
would've-
final blow.
Yeah, that wouldn't have changed much. It was already, what, 2-3-0 at that point?
I think it was 3. Yeah.
3.
But listen, let's get back to inter squad this summer going
Yeah.
forward with Inzaghi and all that stuff. But let's talk about PSG because that's like
Deserve their flowers.
We talk about Inter because we got Mili on the pod, but of
course.
PSG, that is a
What a team.
ridiculously good and mature performance for a
Yeah.
team of, I wouldn't say mature players. It's all young players. Vitinia in that midfield looked like the best midfielder in the world this season.
Yeah, for
better
sure.
than Pedri.
Literally a metronome.
Listen, I think if Pedri was in the same place as Vitinia with that much space, he'd be just as good. But bro, that much composure,
They made it work.
Gotta give Vitinia his flowers. for sure.
ridiculous. Everyone
And Desiree
everyone.
Doué with a masterclass performance
Yeah,
out of
masterclass.
nowhere.
Masterclass.
I mean, we've all seen this potential, but like this really proved it to everyone on the biggest stage. 2 goals and assists, and like he was actually a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out of this world. I just can't.
He made
They
DiMarco.
deserved to win.
DiMarco subbed off because of Doué. He was cooking.
DiMarco was like, whatever. I could get
Horrendous.
into a whole rant later, but like PSG, the way they prepped for this game, it was as if they read the minds of every Inter player, knowing where they were going to pass, knowing when they were going to shoot, knowing when they were going to make a progressive pass. Every pass was intercepted. Every movement was thought out. It was like, and they just played through Inter like nothing.
I just
They
find
cut them up.
you got sucked into PSG's game. Like you could see like their 1-2 passes that they always do, they were completely unmarked. Like
Oh, yeah,
when you know that PSG has been playing that way the entire season,
And you're
you
telling me
can't
they didn't
allow
prep for
them to
that?
do it.
A 5 back, and you're giving him
You
that
can't
much
do that.
space.
You can't do that.
And you're allowing Cavada like the whole wing by himself. You're allowing Desiree Doué to be in an ISO situation with DiMarco. Like, are you kidding me?
But
you don't even double. Even if when you double up Mkhitaryan, it's split decision right away. They're able to go 1-2.
Yeah.
Someone's already open. Desiree Doué open goal.
But at the same time, like how do you stop that? Because obviously the wingers that PSG have are some of the best in the world. Like you got to double up on them, but you
then
don't
it
have the
opens up.
physicality of it to keep up. So
I think
it becomes tough.
The place where Inter went wrong, in my opinion, was allowing Vitinia and the other midfielders to easily
cook.
transition from left wing to right wing to right wing to left.
Yeah.
Because having that much flexibility, you're always shifting Inter's backline. Inter never had this like stability. They were never able to choose where they wanted to push PSG. It was always PSG went wherever they wanted. Cavada jumped from the left side to the right side. We were talking about it in the live stream. Vitinia would go right wing. Jean
It was
Neves would
fluid.
move up. Nuno Mendes would jump up to the like. It was crazy.
And we recorded a Balon d'Or video a couple months ago, and I said it on video. Vitinha deserves to be higher than Pedri in Balon d'Or, or their season does not deserve to be, in history standpoint, that different. In my opinion, Balon d'Or, Vitinha should be higher than Pedri. Now, Pedri's obviously gonna have the PR, the Barca glaze, obviously,
I
all
think
those
they're-
things that put you higher in the Balon d'Or.
I think now
rankings.
with the team achievements, I think they're quite equal in terms of what they did this season. PSG
no.
even slightly better, you could argue, obviously. because
Vitinha had a better season than Pedri now. I will say. Vitinha had the
Yeah,
best
sure.
season of any midfielder in the world, in my personal opinion, this season.
I could agree with that.
I mean, 4 trophies, it's hard to disagree with that.
Forget the team achievements. Pure he ran the game. We saw Barella, Vitinia on the same pitch today. One of them looked legitimately world class. The other one looked lost.
Unfair.
Lights were too bright for Barella when the whole world was watching.
I hate that that's how football works, but I mean it does.
Yeah, that's
can't really deny
quite
it.
reactionary.
Because I know it's hypothetical, but if Barella was in Vitinia's space,
He'd be cooking too.
he'd do the exact same thing.
But again, this is where, like, unfortunately, the athleticism part comes into play, because then you have a Barella that has to end up picking up the slack from a Mkhitaryan or even a DiMarco, because
asked.
bro,
Stop taking his steroids or what?
Let's not act that Barella was this world-class midfielder. He wasn't at his top.
He wasn't, but you could tell he was holding on to the ball for longer. He was
Didn't do anything, though.
He was trying to find passing lanes, but like he was in positions that should have been occupied by other players in the field. Like, anyways, it was just such a deflating game.
I think Inzagi got it completely wrong.
Yeah,
Every time
completely
Barella
wrong.
would touch the ball, he would just get pressed by two people. He had nobody to pass it to, and mistake.
I also think there was too much respect given to PSG. Like there's such thing as giving respect to the team. Like understanding who your opponent is.
It's not enough respect given.
No, there was too much.
No, because you could tell. No, I disagree.
No, because we let them dictate the game, because we decided, okay, give them the ball.
But you let Barca dictate the game also. You just didn't give Barca any space.
Yeah, but
also Barca scored 6 goals over you on 2 legs, so it's not like defensively.
Exactly.
Barca fans, bro, I don't even know how you can sleep tonight, knowing that this team that barely took a shot on target on PSG, you conceded 7 goals to them. That's an embarrassment.
Sure, it hurts. It hurts.
I agree, because low key, like, I'm not saying Inter. I think that was a 50-50 tie that Inter ended up winning, but Barca should have creamed Inter. Like, looking back at this game, like the athleticism gap between
You're telling me that Barca couldn't have done exactly what PSG did today.
I think they could have. Yeah.
Against PSG, you're saying, or
No,
against Inter. They could have done what PSG did. They had the athleticism. They have Lamine Yamal. They have Rafinha.
The players they have, for sure.
I think they have the perfect balance of youth, athleticism, and experience.
Luis Enrique. It barely even has to be said. Luis Enrique, manager of the season.
They lose Mbappe. By the way, I voted Luis Enrique as manager of the season, but you guys voted Flick. Okay, whatever. The Boxies, that was a whole other legitimacy of the award down the drain. But
you could lift that one.
Yeah,
that's what you could lift.
Oracle moment, Varvar Oracle moment. Just another one in the bag.
Didn't you say Inter was going to win today?
So does it cancel out? Perfect, got it.
It's because I let my love for Inter blind my logic, you know.
Do we know what predictions we gave?
PSG win.
I said 3-1 PSG.
PSG win in hindsight was so obvious. Even Mili said PSG. PSG win in hindsight.
So I guess you knew it wasn't that much of a... But you always do that.
It's the cuck mentality, bro. But
it's the cuck mentality when it actually happens.
He's being
realistic.
If
Man United was in the final and I heard Højlund starting up top, I would have still said we were winning. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's a final.
Was weird.
You'd say your team is winning.
Crazy.
I think at the event, like the sentiment that I got was that it was a 50-50. Yeah. And that PSG obviously had a better team on paper, but you never know with Inter.
One of my friends does sports betting, and PSG were minus 160 and Inter was like plus 1 something.
It's value.
Bro, everyone was saying, you need to bet Inter. You need to bet Inter. You need to bet Inter before kickoff. Little did we know, bro. You should have bet PSG fucking win by 3. Like, you should have bet the house on PSG.
5 goals.
2020 hindsight.
2020, unfortunately.
My love for Inter blinded me.
Huh?
My love for Inter blinded me, sadly.
So far, is it over? Is there no more we? Is it only Mili now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to answer for him, yes.
I need to see the transfers this summer.
Fuck off.
I might still be... every time I'm out, they pull me back in.
Crazy.
Start of the summer, good start of the summer.
Does Inzagi change that decision?
No. Actually, it would reinforce if he left.
Really?
Yeah. In my opinion, we should have gone back for Conte. Personal opinion.
That's not how it works, but... Okay.
Like, we should have said, Inzagi, given an ultimatum last week, are you going or are you leaving because we need to plan for next season? I'm going. Okay, Antonio Conte, I need you right now back in the team.
You tell Inzagi, go away for 2 years. The club will back that 2 years that you go away. We'll get Conte for 2 years. Inzagi, contract signed now. You come back in 2 years.
Pre-contract.
Yeah.
But now
that's what a smart club. That's what a smart club would do.
And you sign him at like 3-4 mil in 2 years. I don't know.
That's what a smart club would do. But you see, Inter.
And now
we're gonna end up with Marco Baroni or some shit.
Yeah, because now it's a weird situation because every Serie A club got their Italian manager.
Welcome
and
to the race, man.
Yeah.
Realistically, who could you go for?
Battle for Marco Silva.
All the Italian clubs got their Italian managers. Bro, there's a whole world of managers out there.
But we all know that
the only ones who won Serie A are Italian.
The only ones that work are Italian.
Says the guy who speaks for Igor Tudor. But anyways, there's no other. Who is an upgrade over Inzagi?
No, that Inter can get?
Thomas Frank.
I'm saying, go get Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace.
Listen,
You think you're
He's
winning
not
a championship?
Italian.
You
He's
think you're
not
making a
Italian.
CL final?
I'm telling you,
Glasner.
it's a big factor.
Glasner is not making a CL final.
Sure, but he's probably winning the league this season, though.
Yeah, but Inzaghi could win the league.
Glasner,
True, you're
Inzaghi did not win the league.
I get it. But
Could. He has won in 4 years.
At one point, yeah, but at one point, I think after the Bayern games, because that's really where the shift focused, in my opinion, where we decided, okay, Champions League is the priority.
Okay, but now once again,
Yes.
okay, Champions League the priority. Great, you made
But
the
yeah,
final.
I
You
know,
lost
I know,
5-0.
and then we lost 5-0. I get it. I'm telling you, I agree with you. It shouldn't. If Inzaghi came into the season and said Scudetto first, Champions League second, no problem. And we ended up winning Scudetto and we got a crash out in the round of 16. Whatever. I'm sure we would have seen it as a success and we would have looked at that Inter team and said, maybe they should have went farther in Champions League. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you're right.
So at the end of the day, it really just depended on focus and that shift from when the team decided, okay, we're going to go all in on Champions League. We think we could do it this year. Unfortunately, they were out of their depth in the one game that mattered. Everything else, they proved that they should be in the final. But this game, the ultimate proof, they did not deserve to be in the final.
For me personally, it was a sign of mismanagement by Inzaghi personally, because you never, all the top managers say it, you never take advantage of winning trophies. Like you never take it for granted. Actually, it's not take advantage. Take it for granted, because this year, Inter should have walked into that CL already having won 2 trophies, where the CL was just the cherry on top of
Just like PSG did.
Yeah. So PSG went in with practically no pressure. It was like, bro, worst case,
And for
we
a
made a
while.
CL final and we won 3 trophies this season.
And for a long time,
Inter,
yeah.
it was our season's a failure if we don't win this game.
Yeah.
And who played like they had more desperation? PSG.
Well, it's because they played freer.
Yeah, but even the first 10, 20 minutes.
You like my attempt at like Miliisms?
What?
Like saying air, but saying, I'm just kidding.
Freer?
They played freer.
They played freer.
No. Well, yeah, you could say that they played with more relaxation
More
going into
freedom.
But I don't know. This is just a lot of people are gonna have to look in the mirror.
So one of those people that has to look in the mirror is Inzaghi.
Inzaghi, I would agree.
Okay.
Does Marotta leave?
So
Don
No,
Marotta.
no. I
now,
don't think Marotta leaves.
Marotta's not leaving.
Don Marotta.
But
We're losing everything.
5-0 wasn't. It's not up to him.
From-
Marotta
5-0.
doesn't lose embarrassingly like that.
Yeah, but okay. I guess not. Even 2-0 or 3-0, whatever you guys lost to at Juve.
yeah,
In the final.
against
Against
Barca.
Barca.
Finals. I don't think you scored a goal in 2
Against
finals.
Barca.
Yeah.
I didn't score a goal
Red
in
card,
finals.
Juan Cuadrado.
Lift that.
But at the end of the day, this 5-0 really honestly changed the whole shift. If it was a 1-0, 2-0, hard fought, and it just went PSG's way, I think the outlook would be more positive. But this is like, get rid of everyone.
But whether you won or lost, like now we know that you lost, obviously, but like it was a end of the road, because now all those players are way too old, in my
well,
opinion.
they're gone. They're gone.
You're gonna have to rebuild
That's
completely.
fine. They're gone. You keep the core. But
But now you're gonna have a new coach next season probably, because Inzaghi after the game is not declining to speak on Al Hilal links, which is a sign that he's gone.
He did state that before the CL final, he would play the final. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, he would discuss with the board.
Is he a
about-
rat if he leaves like tomorrow?
It's a bit of
It'd be a cop out. It'd be a cop out.
he's leaving with the sour
Like
taste in
Mili.
his mouth. Pause.
It's like Mili. Mili leaves. No, Mili loses. Inter loses. Mili goes to Italy.
yeah.
It's a cop out.
Mili's actually celebrating the CL loss.
Duck the smoke. Inzaghi
I
loses
think
the CL
you're
final.
telling
And
me
you
I
don't
don't,
shave your
I
head.
don't deserve a fucking vacation after a game like this. Oh my God. Crazy work. Yeah, no, but honestly, full credit to PSG. And honestly, my feeling right after the game wasn't even like sadness. I think it was just more like, I don't know what happened right now, but I'm just going to enjoy the party. And I'm just going to, like, we did not deserve to win this.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So my sentiment going after the game was like, we did not deserve to win this.
Yeah.
But whereas the Man City game, I said it to a couple people, like, whereas going after the Manchester City final where we lost 1-0, I came out of that and I was gutted because I'm like, dude, we did
We could have won.
enough to at least draw or at least win. Like, we could have won that game. That's
Yeah.
what I felt coming out of that, and I was gutted by that. But this, I'm not even gutted. This, I'm more upset than gutted.
Well, because it did harm.
It did way
That's
more
the
harm.
difference. Is the Man City game didn't do harm.
That coming out of that game, I'm like, if we bring in the right pieces, we will get stronger from this. 5-0 is complete demoralization.
PSG, yeah.
To PSG out of
It's
all.
not like it was a Liverpool or a Barca this
We
year.
gave two teams their troubles.
Yeah.
Quadruple.
And
That's
a little
true.
bit more
I forgot
about
about that.
PSG. PSG beat Liverpool, Aston Villa, Inter,
Arsenal
and Arsenal.
Not just ran through them.
destroyed
Yeah.
them.
Okay, they didn't run through
Maybe not
Aston
destroyed.
Villa and Arsenal.
I would say they destroyed
Arsenal
Liverpool.
it was never in doubt. Not once during that Arsenal
No,
tie
but
did you ever say, "Oh, Arsenal actually could come through here."
Okay, but it wasn't embarrassing.
It wasn't like this,
No.
but it wasn't close. I would say.
To be honest, the only one that was really close was the Aston Villa one, which
Yes.
is weird to say. Because Liverpool, first game, even though Liverpool won, they destroyed them.
Liverpool, both games actually were
Destroyed.
convincingly PSG.
They were,
Yes.
yeah, but it went to pens. But
Yeah.
still, watching the game, yeah, you said Liverpool's probably the better team.
Aston Villa, I think they let off the gas in the second leg.
Aston
because
Villa was weird.
They probably.
But it's because
They must have gotten complacent.
It's because PSG didn't demolish these Prem teams because they actually have the athleticism to keep up
Well,
with.
they dominated Liverpool.
They, in my opinion, like it was close though. We went to pens,
Okay,
but I said
Listen to the podcast around that time. We blatantly just said it. PSG dominate Liverpool.
But once again, it was a coin flip away from Liverpool going through.
Bro, they beat
Because of pens,
three
I guess.
Prem teams and Inter. Like,
It was a dominant CL.
is this one of the most dominant Champions League runs we've ever seen?
It could very much well be.
There's the City Trouble one. They
City
went
Trouble one is
undefeated
crazy.
the whole way.
Yeah.
They didn't lose a game.
Yeah, that's probably the most dominant.
That's
one.
probably the most.
I
dominant.
think you have to get lucky because you have to play strong opponents to have a very strong CL knockout campaign.
Yeah.
But this is probably one of the most dominant I've seen in
Recent times.
in recent times.
maybe the knockouts. I would agree.
Because I'm sure
Knockouts.
Barca and Real back in the mid 2010s had some.
What's crazy is that they started off the season terribly though in Champions League.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why.
losing to 2-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, brother, they were 18th in the standings, 18th, and they won the Champions
In the
League.
old format, I don't think they'd even made it out to groups because they started
Actually,
off terribly.
that's a good-
If
I don't-
because
That was enough- that
the
was
new
enough to
league
kick you
phase,
out.
the new league phase was 8 games.
Yeah.
If it was still 6 games, they would have lost the first 2 or whatever. They wouldn't have made it even to the round of 16 potentially, which is crazy to say.
It's
They
quite
lost.
possible.
They lost 2-1 to Atletico. They lost
Girona.
1-0 to Bayern. They lost 2-0
Girona?
2-0 to Arsenal. They beat Girona.
Oh, they beat Girona? But yeah, like it was not a good start to the league phase for PSG. And then they beat Man City in the first round. They even beat Man City in the
4-2, yeah.
playoff. So, I mean, crazy.
No, not the playoff.
No, because Man
The
City
playoff
played
was
Real Madrid.
Playoff they played Brest. And they
7-0.
Yeah.
But that's understandable.
3-0.
Yeah, I don't know.
7-0.
In total.
Oh, 2 legs. 10-0. 10-0.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. It was 10-0.
In aggregate. Once the games got important, PSG put it on
Yeah.
the burners. But this was.
What do you think about Hakimi not celebrating? Do you even care?
He could have celebrated, bro. I didn't care. I
Bro,
honestly
you
didn't care.
score in a CL final. I don't give a shit if you're Messi playing versus Barcelona. Bro. I wouldn't be able to contain
No,
myself.
but forget that. He was at Inter for a year. So like realistically, brother, what's holding you back at Inter? You
I
know?
mean, respect. He played it safe.
Yeah, I
Didn't burn
I-
any bridges.
I don't know.
He honestly comes out as an Inter legend after this. I'm not gonna cap somehow.
Yeah, the player who came out the best in Inter's fans'
Is the
minds
next player.
today is Hakimi.
I'm not even lying. Like, and now I think what Inter fans are thinking, like, there was one player that we should have never sold, like ever. It was Hakimi.
Because from that position in world football,
There's
I think it's
nothing-
only him and Trent. I think that can influence a game as much.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have kept him.
We could have kept
too
him.
much
if-
ambition.
We could have kept him if
Conte stayed.
no
Lukaku stayed.
No, Lukaku had to have left. Because
Lukaku still ended up leaving.
No, yeah, I know. That's why. Because Lukaku said he's staying. So we needed funds. We end up selling Hakimi. But then Lukaku says, okay, actually, never mind. After we sold Hakimi, he says, never mind, I'm leaving. I want to go to Chelsea. They offered 120 million. So we could have kept Hakimi if Lukaku just said outright he wanted to leave.
That's crazy.
I'm with Varvar. I think Hakimi has too much ambition.
No, I think Inter show ambition.
You couldn't hold down a guy like
He wouldn't have, first of all, the wages would have been too crazy for you
And
to
then
even match.
Real or Barca would have called. He would have been gone. He would have been gone.
That's what I think. If he waited one more year, I mean, I don't know. It's hindsight.
One more year, he's
2020.
at Barca or Real.
One more year, he's at Real. Bro, Real, they need homegrown players, and he's a La Fabrica player. So, I mean, for quota filler, that's a quota filler right there.
Yeah.
If Hakimi's a quota filler, that's a good quota
It's a
filler.
good quota filler. You've been
So-
doing something right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot to speak about. Inzagi. Once again, you keep dodging this, okay?
I'm not
I want to
dodging.
know.
I think
you
I'm-
think
I'm sitting on the
prediction
sofa
right
with you,
now?
bro.
Prediction right now. You think he leaves or goes?
Yeah, I think
Leaves or stays?
I think he leaves.
I agree. But
I think he leaves.
who next season?
I'm not
okay?
even thinking about a replacement. Right? I don't even know what to think.
Oh my god, that's such a
You got-
million.
Well, I'm
I'm
still
not
trying-
thinking
I'm-
about replacements.
Well, he just lost the final. Like I
gotta
doubt he's
process
thinking
this
of
right
it.
now, bro. Like I don't even know who an option
Might be a
could
next. He has a full. Oh, actually, no, you're going away.
I know a lot of people said like Fabregas, people still were mentioning Fabregas as an option. I don't like that.
Millie,
No?
when you get back, you better have a surefire plan for Inter summer.
We will be
camp.
quizzing
Bro,
you.
I will be living
You're,
a fucking
you're
La Dolce
so
Vita,
you're
bro.
so
I'm not
lucky
touching
you're in Italy while
I'm-
Inzaghi gets fired.
I'm not touching Inter right now. Like for at least a week, I'm not even focusing.
folding the shirts, putting them in the closet.
You're
Yeah,
definitely
just for
checking those
now.
Fabrizio tweets, though.
No,
You're definitely checking them.
No
There's
tweets.
no way you're putting your
no
phone away.
tweets, no tweets.
Bro, if he's gone even when he's in Italy.
Worst case, bro, I read La Gazzetta dello Sport. You know.
Yeah, so you'll get it first news.
I think
Hate it.
this might be premature, and I would want to see what they do this summer. But I think low key we're starting to see the tail end of this Inter domination, by having by far the best team in Italy, like the tail end of that.
Well,
No, I
I
think
mean,
we
it's
still have
just
the
the
best
end of
team
the
that
4
you
years.
still have the best team, but I think, bro, if let's say team like Napoli gets proper investment this summer, I could definitely see them like domestically competing with you again.
Yeah,
next
I
year.
get it.
But it's different stages of the project because I think it was you, Mili, saying that Marotta works in cycles of 4 years. This is the 4th year, no?
Yeah.
Was it
so,
you
like,
that was saying
and,
that?
And I think now with Oak Tree too, they're looking at different profiles. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be a different Inter. Like, I think this is the end of Marotta's like finding value and experience.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, they only get you so far, and if you keep them too long, they overstay. Like Darmian overstayed. Acerbi, I love for what he's done with the club, like with Inter, but I don't see him staying next year. Mkhitaryan gone. He should have been gone a year ago.
You have a lot of work to do this summer.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to do, but I think
You have the
you bring in
funds
the
at
right
least.
young talent, along with keeping the core pieces and some veterans that aren't 37 years old. Yeah, I think you could do well. It's kind of like what PSG did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like PSG had,
It costed them $500 million.
like, yeah, exactly. But you had a Fabian Ruiz who's a little older, more experienced. You had an Ousmane Dembele who's like what 27, 26, 27. If I'm,
I'm not sure
mistaken.
how old he is.
So he's the same age as Lautaro then.
Yeah.
So like in my head, I'm like, you get the right level of experience, mix it with youth, you could do well.
Yeah, that's
We,
true.
we were just too old. We were just too old. The team.
Dembele's 28.
That actually leads to the last big topic. Did Dembele winning this Champions League put him as the front runner for the Balon d'Or?
No.
I don't think because unfortunately he didn't necessarily contribute as much as like a Desiree Doué in this game.
You could argue he's probably the worst player on the pitch tonight.
Which is crazy because he got 2 assists.
Yeah, I'm not saying he played bad, but I'm
you
just
not-
saying you
bro,
didn't watch that game and you're like, wow, Ousmane
There's a
Dembele.
Balon d'Or.
Exactly.
I know, but 2 assists plus he set up the goal with the back heel pass. Or
Yeah, that was
whatever.
nice.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was nice.
But I would say still, bro, Lamine Yamal, bro. I know what I watched this year.
Yeah, exactly. But
And I know he was the best player in the world.
for me, like when you watch Dembele, I keep saying this, like you look at the stats after the game. Like during the game, like to me, he wasn't the best player on the pitch. Easy as that. So to me, he's not the best in the world because clearly he wasn't the best on the pitch. Yamal, in every game that I watched, especially in Champions League, he was the best player on the pitch.
Like when they asked Inter players, who's the best player you faced this year?
Yamal.
Or
Yamal.
faced- Who's the best player you faced in your life? No,
Who was the best player you ever faced?
every single
Crazy.
one. Yamal. Like not even one person said anything else.
If you were to ask these Inter players again, who's their toughest?
They're still saying
Still
Yamal.
Wouldn't change.
To back up Dembele, it's much easier to lock up someone that plays centrally in the pitch than out wide. Dembele was the only person on PSG that Luis Enrique told, don't drift wide. He was basically just dragging defenders. He was keeping the Inter center backs like at bay while the wingers were able to cook. Dembele didn't go anywhere but the middle.
Like I guess you could say he wasn't necessarily like playing individually. Like I think like a Desiree Doué or a Cavada were playing.
Those guys
more
are always a lot.
individually.
They'll always visually look more pleasing to watch in games like this because they have that space. Cavada's coming in with full pace on the wing. Bro, did he make? Was it who got cooked out of their socks? I know Bastoni and
Acerbi.
got cooked.
Acerbi got
Acerbi got cooked by
Barcola.
Barcola.
That should have been 6. I'm not even.
What a
Yeah,
mess.
that should have been 6.
That was like I don't understand. I could see the whole side of the net was empty.
Yeah.
Like that was low key bad goalkeeping by Summer. And
Well, no, this
Yeah, I don't even think he made a save.
bro, he was completely near post.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that Barcola went near post. He
Yeah.
pulled an Mbappe.
But
where
the net
he
was
faked.
open. The net
Yeah.
was wide open.
Yeah, he
And then
needed to go.
PSG follow up by scoring short post.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just not.
DiMarco OG also best left foot in the world.
As per usual.
DiMarco, is that a potential sell?
Gone.
real?
I won't be upset if he leaves. I'm gonna
This
be
is
honest.
really reactionary, bro.
This is reactionary, but from what I've seen, he got cooked in Barcelona. He got cooked versus Barcelona. He got cooked versus PSG.
It's the athleticism, bro, that's really holding him
He
back.
just doesn't have the legs. I don't understand what happened because 6 months ago,
It's the chigs.
it must be the chigs. But
Does not smoke.
6 months ago, I was debating. I was debating with you guys that he was the best in his position.
We said best left foot in the world 6 months ago.
Yes, and then now I'm not gonna be in denial. And say
Now
he
I'll
still
admit,
is.
Lamine Yamal has a better left foot than him.
Thank God we made
No,
it.
no, but in the fullback position, I mean, like, I just don't know where he goes from here because the way that Inzagi's playing, like, you can't just be on the pitch for 54 minutes or whatever.
Fiorentina in 2 years, I'd say.
I see the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, he's won a Scudetto, he's won a couple cups. Like, you've done enough. 2 finals, ideally you win 1, but
Juve, bring him to Juve. No,
I say
he
Cambiaso.
can't
I
play in
say
a
we
four
try and go Cambiaso.
Cambiaso, DiMarco
So he can
Suarez.
take a step up in his career.
I don't know. This is gonna be
I actually see Inter trying for that. If you would get a guy like Cambiaso, it wouldn't happen. But if you did, that would be exactly what you need.
yeah.
There's no other Italian wing back that is as good as Cambiaso. It just won't happen.
Let me think about it.
Oh yeah. Well, Udoji, I would think is.
Yeah, I was
similar.
thinking Udoji.
Can he play like that?
Yeah.
Creative,
Yeah.
offensive.
Yeah. I mean, he
What do you
does
want?
kinda. He does kinda. There's someone outside. I don't know.
Was out
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what Inter do from here. I can't even cap because all their players are old as fuck.
We'll let the dust settle.
Yeah,
The
I gotta
dinosaurs, bro.
see what the damage is from this because, listen, just the Inter fans, just enjoy the ride for now. Next couple of days is gonna be rough,
Bro,
as per usual.
you could hear every time a Cherby turned, it was like a massive bus turning. Like, yeah, it was like, bro, I don't even know.
But
How did that guy lock
Acerbi-
up Haaland?
You need more Bisek type signings where it's the physicality matches.
I understand, man. I think Luis Enrique is in that direction.
Yeah, but that's you signed a player in the one position you actually didn't need
Yeah,
physicality.
didn't-
Luis
need-
Enrique, the player, guys.
Didn't necessarily need.
the only
player. People-
player,
we're not
yeah,
talking
Luis
about-
Enrique, the Marseille player.
Enrique.
The only player that they actually didn't need because Dumfries was physically there. I told Mili,
No,
I
but he
think
can play
Dumfries,
left wing back.
I think Dumfries played the best.
Well, they
in my
signed
personal
Correa.
opinion.
Remember when they signed Correa? It was for that speed. This is the same shit.
Yeah.
Same
That
type
was
of
garbage.
signing.
Correa's
It's just Correa's
hot
actually
garbage.
became bad.
But now the issue, like if Inzaghi leaves, you have to sign a 3-5-2 manager because your squad is
100%.
so limited.
I don't know. It depends because a lot of those players that were so integral to the 3-5-2 may not necessarily be there, like
no
a
background.
Mkhitaryan or
No.
Cherby. Yeah, because
Bro,
yes,
Lautaro has to play with 2 strikers up top.
Yeah.
He's not a single
Even
striker.
Thuram.
Dumfries
Thuram
is not a back 4 right back. That's
But he could.
DiMarco is not a back
For
four.
Netherlands, he plays solo right back.
and that's why Netherlands don't win shit.
But he's very
that's
good.
not because
He's
of him.
he's very good at fullback.
I disagree.
He's the only
Still
player
scores
I'd
for
say is
Netherlands.
perfect in a four.
I disagree. There's questions over Bastoni at center back.
Well,
and four
Bastoni,
back.
you get the best out of him when it's a 3
Yes.
back.
Acerbi cannot play in a.
Acerbi cannot play 4 back. De Vrij can't play 4 back. Bisek can't play 4 back. Like
It's a team
3-back
built in a
squad.
3
Although
back.
they
it's not
can.
bad nowadays. There's so many managers
They
that play
can.
3 back.
They can, but just don't
But
expect
it's
them to win the league.
Like they can't play a 3-4-2-1. They have to play.
Yeah.
I don't know.
3-4-2-5-2.
I think, like, listen, I'm not going to rule out Inzaghi staying. It really depends how talks go. But in the event that he does stay, like, listen, I think we've seen the maximum capacity that the club can do with little funds. Like, you kind of like valued your way to a certain point, like to a certain level. But like after that, bro, there's a cap to it. You can never hit on so many value transfers and expect to.
Okay,
to-
Millie,
to
let's cut the shit.
Start winning.
How much you spending this summer?
I don't know, 100 mil. Is that
That
like
gets
net?
you fucking
That won't-
air
that won't fill
in
that
today's
net?
market.
Is that net?
No.
Yeah, sure, net, whatever the fuck you want. 100 mil gets you air.
Just spend like without plus minus, like whatever.
Bro, after this 5-0, I hope they go back to the fucking drawing board and spend 200 million, 300 million.
300?
That shit, throw the bag, bro.
Shit, bro.
Inter 300 mil. I've
Yeah.
heard it all today.
150 million, I believe you.
5 mil, 5-0. Really,
This is a full revamp,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm saying.
This is a full revamp.
150 million, like,
guys, you guys are so reactionary. We need a full fucking revamp.
Bro,
Every player on the team.
No, reactionary is if it was like 1-0 close game and I said we need a full revamp. That's an exaggeration, bro. 5-0 and it was clear from the first minute that we were not up to par of PSG.
well,
revamp.
bro, all season you've been saying it's not a failure and you don't need a revamp.
I
It's
also
not a
didn't
failure.
believe that we were going to lose 5-0.
So you're telling me 5 goals changed your entire trajectory.
But
If you didn't lose 5-0, it would have been not a rebound.
Okay, but then if we won the Champions League, then it completely changes the trajectory of our season, and now it's a success, right? It's
Well,
the same reasoning. It's the same
You
reasoning.
can't look at things like.
but then you can't look at things like that. That's the reasoning going into any of these conversations.
Maybe this helped Inter.
I don't know if this helps Inter, but how I'm looking at it is that this was an unfathomable result, in my honest opinion. From an Inter perspective, this was never a possibility, and then it happened. Everything needs to be revamped.
But what I say, Mili, is if I'm saying maybe this was a blessing in disguise, because if you lost 1-0,
yeah, then we would have said, okay, maybe we can continue with these guys.
Patching some little holes and then go into another Champions League campaign with DiMarco left.
Writing's on the
And
wall.
then we end up with McTominay at MVP once again.
Yeah, this was not the season.
Smoking a chick on the parade bus.
This was not the season for Inter, unfortunately. So yeah,
Is that all of we got?
I'm just gonna have to reflect.
We actually let you off light today, I think, because we could have
but I-
came in
I-
guns blazing.
I think on the live stream we did.
No, we
Bro,
didn't.
all
He
I
just
asked
got
him,
rage bait.
I asked him, whose fault is this, the players or the manager? He told me, bro, are you watching the fucking game like I am?
It's everyone's fault.
Bro, it's everyone's fault.
It is everyone's fault.
Just ask you, my brother.
Yeah.
I know, but I appreciate you guys.
I know, but
At least we had a decent conversation. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff
What you
to do.
guys see behind us, we got to put that all away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a bunch. Plus, we had like we didn't even tell them what we did. We did a whole FIFA station. We had foosball tables. We had a bunch of food
Barbecue.
out.
We had
barbecue and everything.
a bagel company.
Oh, we did our prediction boards.
I'm gonna go get it.
You're gonna go get them?
also shout out Chateau Bagel for the bagels. They helped
And
us a lot.
Carlsberg.
And
Shout out
Carlsberg.
Carlsberg for
Yeah.
sponsoring the event. 0% alcohol.
0%
It
alcohol.
was
drink
honestly a
responsibly.
very good success.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, it's because there's Velcro. No, we'll take it off.
But some people went up after the event
Putting the
5-0, bro.
I saw that.
Like bunch of chooches.
So all those 5-0s are fake, but there's actually one
past the
person.
Inter?
There's one person you could see. By the way,
Obviously the Inter ones.
Millie didn't even write.
No, I did write Inter.
Yeah, I
Why?
saw.
Your prediction
here.
wasn't Inter.
I said 2-1 Inter, Millie,
But
not a
on
jinx.
Promos.
Where's Varvar?
Varvar 4-2 extra time. Yabba dabba doo.
Where's Pala? Pala 3-1.
3-1.
PSG.
That was close.
There's James, I think, in the bottom left that predicted 4-0. That was
Jason.
an actual prediction. Jason.
G.
4-0.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, shout out Darby. That's Jason G.
No, it's not him.
Damn.
I think.
He shut it up.
I'm not sure. But yeah.
4-2. So people thought that Inter would score. Oh, no, that's.
Yeah, people thought Inter score.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be...
Chelsea.
I
Tyler
was telling
A,
people it wasn't going to
3-2.
be high scoring. It was high scoring.
Just not for Inter.
Just the proportion was a little off.
I was surprised by the amount of
3-0
goals.
Forza Juve.
Who else? 4-1 Inter Jason on this one.
Did Jason know?
Richard wrote 5-4 Inter on penalties. Yeah, I fucking wish.
That's a Zuvi right there.
Yeah, nice.
Producer T.
Producer T
There
said
was also a
2-0 Inter. Lautaro goal, Pavard goal.
If anyone missed it, producer T reveal also on
Yes.
Yeah, make sure to check it out.
And Millie's Nunno made an appearance on
Yeah.
stream, gave his tactical insight on the game.
He didn't quite know that he was on stream.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew he was on stream. I don't think he knew.
Giacomo said 4-1.
Barbara Bernat came on stream. It
Yeah.
was actually a very good event. So
Ben came on stream as well.
yeah, Benji.
It was all
Ben.
lore. It was just lore today.
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
said,
It was all
somebody said
lore.
like the Box2box universe is
Yeah.
like all like
It's all
colliding.
coming together now.
But
It's our end game.
yeah, I think it was a solid event.
Yeah.
Solid event.
I'm glad
solid
it went.
CL
I'm glad it
final.
went smooth.
Good shit, boys.
Yeah, we got her done.
Yeah.
We'll have a drink after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drink some
0%
water.
alcohol.
Some
Yeah.
H2O, obviously. Or some
Carlsberg, if you want 0%.
Carlsberg 0% as per. But yeah,
All right.
That's it. Episode 60. Everyone.
quick reaction video. It was pretty much an emergency pod.
Yeah, we're not going to
definitely
start
was.
talking about transfers and all that stuff.
Not yet,
No,
at least.
no one cares about that right now.
We're
You
going
were
to
literally just saying we need to rebuild the entire fucking team.
No, not transfers on the teams. Transfers in match
general.
football.
He said we don't care about transfers right now.
Brother's off to Italy. Enjoy that, Millie.
Yeah, enjoy.
Appreciate it, guys.
Take that break.
We
Deserve
got
it.
the,
I
we got
think-
the U-Haul over here down.
We slide in that U-Haul.
Got to bring everything back now.
Oh, fuck.
Shout out our video audio guy, Apple.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Goat.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it, bro.
And that's it. Episode 60. See you guys next
Peace
time.
out.
Thank you. Ciao.